Okay, the channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Woohoo!
Yay!
I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, Nobilis as Canthan,
Greetings.
Jason Banks as Exel,
Sometimes, guys, you just have to have a little faith.
and David Archambault as Dianok.
Oh, I wonder if they actually, thought before acting.
Lee Burdett as Flounce,
hello.
and Paul Weimer as Xenophon.
Marching across island bridges spanning the sky, seeking a dragon our new companions want to die.
So, as was just so eloquently put by Xenophon, the Order of the Golden Prawn was has traveled to a distant land and has been told. The request was put in to you through some spiritual means that a Bayakuno, which is a type of a rare type of dragon native to these areas, needed your help. And so, as you arrived in the city, you discovered one was attacking the city. Nobody seems to know why, but a lot of people are angry about it. But you were drawn to the attention of a nature spirit who told you that they believed that the dragon Pangil Nongwon had actually been corrupted by something, and that was why they were acting out in this unusual way, and that they need to be brought peace, which, you know, if that can be done by removing the corruption and bringing them to normal, great. But if that cannot be accomplished, you don't want to leave them as they are. So that is the directive that you've received, and so you begin your travel to the places where you expect to find this. But on your way, you encountered another group of adventurers, hunters, monster hunters in this case, who explained to you that they are from a clan that feels betrayed by this particular dragon, that apparently had pledged to protect their island years ago during a revolution, but did not show on the crucial day. And so they have determined, hey, now that this dragon has shown themselves and attacked people again, we're going to be the ones to take it down. And they offered to split any spoils with you if you help. And although I imagine some of you have complicated feelings about it, you have decided for now to travel with them. And so you are all currently traveling across one of the enormous sky bridges, which we have a nice picture of here. These are magical bridges, hundreds of feet wide, that stretch for miles and miles, connecting these islands in this archipelago to one another. And you're heading towards an island with an enormous tree on it.
Okay, should we be seeing a picture?
I am showing a picture on the stream. This is the handout that I already showed you guys. It's called Flames
Okay.
Everlasting Skybridge.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
As I mentioned on the last session, there is not a region map for this adventure. So it is based on the handouts. All right. So when we last left off, you had stopped to rest for the night on one of the sky bridges because they are so long that you literally need to take long rest and camp before you will arrive at your destination. And so somewhat ominously overnight, you found nearby your campsite what appeared to be a wyvern slain from behind and above by what would seem to be the lightning breath of a Byakuno. And your companions, this rival adventuring party, believe that is further evidence that their quarry traveled this way.
We're on the right trail.
So, Palo Maikapal, which is the this is you have a handout for him too. That is the leader of this this crew that you're with. And so, as you are, you pass the night, and you make your, pack up your camp and get ready to go.
Yep.
And you're just getting underway once more.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep.
Something I was thinking about overnight. When this Byakuno betrayed your family before, did anyone go and ask why it happened?
Now this is when the coward went missing altogether. Did not show, and then knew that they would be regarded as a coward and betrayer, and so didn't dare show their face again.
So no one decided to seek it out to try and find what, see what was happening to it, if anything.
We knew what we needed to know. We needed them, and they didn't show. We lost the leader of our clan. That's what matters.
Interesting. I wonder if maybe what's causing it to attack now is what caused it to not show up before.
Look, I don't care what's caused it to attack before. We are owed revenge, and now it's attacking people. It's time for it to go down. I feel like you guys are not in on the program here. I thought you were coming along on this. Or is there a problem?
I'm gonna take Dianok aside. Dianok, cool it. Push too hard, it'll ruin everything. You gotta have, in order to change someone's mind, you have to have trust and common ground first. Destroy that, and there'll be no way to turn them back if we need to.
Enoch kind of rubs their hand where the missing finger is, and
You knock off the missing finger.
We're gonna be traveling with these guys for a while. There's plenty of time.
well, I hope someone else has other words, because I don't like
And
swift
Enoch-
judgments like that.
It may turn out that they're right.
I mean, if they're right, then it would be nice if someone had just gone looking. Like, we have a place to go, but nobody looked
You
before.
weren't,
It's like,
Dianok, you weren't there. We're not in a position to judge them. And that would get in the way of what we're trying to do here.
Also, just to clarify, it's not like everybody just knew where they lived. You were told by a special nature spirit who was befriended of the dragon. They are just following the direction that it flew off.
oh, okay. I guess I thought it was okay.
Yeah, no, it's not like everybody knew where they lived.
Okay. Well, guess I'll try and bite my tongue.
I'm
Okay.
going to change the subject for the monster hunters and ask them about their clan, where they came from, and get to know them better. Basically, switch the subject and just change it to something they can more positively talk about and educate Xenophon on.
Well, I'm happy to talk about Laguna. I mean, that's where we come from.
I'm a bard and I collect stories. That's why I joined the order here, to find stories across worlds. So I'd like to know your story, your
Well,
people's story. We have plenty of walking time. Please.
well, so I think he's happy to talk about it, and I don't have like a ton of new lore or
No,
anything.
no,
to
but
rattle
I
off.
kind of figure.
But
yeah.
so he does sort of recount that. I mean, the gist of that original thing is that they had this clan that lived in that area for a long time. But there had periodically in the past been foreign aggression coming in and trying to take over the islands. And so they had this pledge of protection from Pangil Nongguan, who was supposed to protect them. But then when the time came, there was a big battle, it just flew away. And they lost their leader. They lost the city for a while, and it was eventually retaken. But ever since, they've declared, the whole clan has declared a blood feud on that for that dragon, for basically like
The betrayal and the heavy
you
cost.
promised, and then you left us at the crucial time, and we lost as a result.
Yeah.
So they seem pretty set, like and this happened 200 years ago. And so this has been a generational blood feud here. And I think I won't even make you make an insight check. He has spent probably his whole life hearing this story and dreaming of the day that he would be the one to take it down.
Yeah, this is what he soaked in.
Yeah, so you don't think this he does not harbor doubts about this.
This is the story of his birth milk. So
Well,
yeah.
if nothing else, the fact that the dragon is attacking now is just like,
see,
finally everyone else is going to see its true colors. It
Yeah.
got tired of hiding, and now it's just going to attack everybody now that it's people know about it. And so that's kind of his thing. All right, so I think as you continue along, let's get another D4 as you are traveling.
Whose turn is it?
I'll do it. 2.
Okay, well, a 2 is the one that you actually rolled previously, and I said let's not do that because I didn't want to start a combat so close to the end of a session. So I think what happens here is let's make a quick little map for you.
Dun, 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 dun.
So what happens as you are making your way is that you first see in the distance a storm blowing in. But as you are watching this storm, you are realizing kind of belatedly that it's, first of all, smaller than a normal storm might be. It's also moving pretty fast and not really with like the prevailing winds that you're feeling where you are. And that's at the point where Paulo sees like what you're looking at, and he just says, "Air elementals, better get ready. They're coming this way."
Okay. And
Okay.
when he says that, I am going to let me just check my wording just a bit first. Oh, okay, never mind. Fighting spirit doesn't last past the current turn, so
Yeah. doesn't make any sense to do that way ahead of time.
Preparation, no.
All right.
Yeah, but I will launch my Steel Defender.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh.
Let's see. Dragon Hunters.
So I'm down to 2 ears instead of 6.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It's eerie.
Oh, I didn't. Did we get a token for your Steel Defender? What did we use last time?
I don't know. I would just use a blob. It's fine. Make your life easy.
Okay. I believe there was 4 of the Dragon Hunters. No, 5. There's actually 5. So 1 more of those. And then all right. So, let's you guys probably on the initiative tracker see nothing, right?
Correct.
Right.
Okay. Just trying to always try to understand how that works because it frequently will show me what you guys don't see, and then I have duplicates, and it's a whole thing that's kind of annoying. But let's get get you all on there. Does the Steel Defender have its own initiative, or it goes on your turn?
It goes on my turn.
Okay. All right. So everyone, roll initiative.
This is gonna be fun.
Oops. Let's see. I'm gonna.
5 L.
I'm just gonna
Are you
grab
sure?
a cloaker token. Well, no, that's big. So you know what? I'm gonna shrink this cloaker token back to medium, and that's your Steel Defender. Represents. God, no. My
Holy crap.
What? What? What?
Oh no. I was just looking at all of the air elementals. I'm
Yeah.
glad there's more than just us.
Yeah, this is a substantial combat room.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know.
you should be able to control that token. I don't even know. So hang on, let me fix. I don't want it to say Aboleth. That's annoying, because it's not even an Aboleth token. All right. So its little health bar is not accurate, but you just track that. So.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So is everyone on the initiative tracker?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Axel, you are first. These things are heading in quick.
Okay. I will Eldritch Blast the one in dead center.
Okay. Let me make the. I'm gonna make a better bridge background color. Oh, yikes! That's a little brighter than I was thinking.
Doesn't contrast too well with the lines either.
Yeah,
There.
that's a little better. Okay. So a 22, I think, is probably gonna hit. Yeah.
16.
Well, that's first anyway.
Well, so the 22 will hit. The 16 will also hit. Are you rolling damage? What are you
Yes,
doing?
yes, yes.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
that is. And that's 2 plus another. Oh. 7, so a total of 9 points, and I will, for what it's worth, push it back 20 feet.
Okay. I believe, yeah. the mechanic doesn't make any distinguishing factors that would limit that. All right.
Does it look like it took all of that, or did it seem phased at all?
Well, give me a second. Uh, well, I mean, it's force damage. Nothing's hardly
Very
anything.
few things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I was initially thinking is that it's resistant, like it can't be made prone, but it doesn't say it can't be pushed. All right. Anything else, Axel?
No, that'll be it.
Okay. Hang on, I'm gonna try to close a couple of things. Try to speed up my computer here. Okay, so Canthan, you're next.
Okay. I see one of my jobs is making sure that Xenophon doesn't get hurt. So I'm gonna go 10, 20,
My poor
30
bard.
feet out to here. And I can't quite reach the thing without dashing, and it doesn't really do me any benefit. So I will stay there, and I'll say, Paolo, do these things usually just attack?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm standing ready with my halberd.
All
No
right.
ready to action because my reflex action is better.
Okay. Hang on, let's see. I'm just making sure his. I think Paolo's stats are the same as the other dragon hunters, but let me just check. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, Dianok, you're next.
So, Diana can do something she hasn't, or they haven't done in combat before. I'm gonna take their wand, do a little flick, and a little bead of red is going to go to a point where I think about here,
Mm-hmm.
and a fireball is going to erupt and damage the one, these four.
All right. Yeah.
I believe it won't hit Canthan either.
That looks about right. Yeah, you can get 4 of them without.
Whoosh!
Okay,
yeah.
so deck save for all of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So from left to right is the rolls here.
Yep.
Ugh. Okay. So 24, 10, 10, and 8. So only the
So
leftmost one
Yep.
saves. So
So that one takes 17 fire damage, and the rest take 34.
okay. Let me make sure that they're not weirdly resistant to something. They are not resistant to fire. Oh, sorry, my Roll20 is just being very slow for me right now. Okay, so 34 for everyone else, right? And then 17 for the one that saved.
Yep.
Okay. That's pretty
And
good.
Diana is gonna go and just stay right there. They're within decent range for everything else.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Xenophon.
Yep, it is my turn. So I'm going to look at this one, and I'm going to vicious mockery it. Creatures of air in insubstantial form, your failures will not be mourned. Feel my inestimable vocal scorn. So a wisdom saving throw
Okay.
is needed.
All right. Keep clicking away from that. Got an 18.
Okay, so it succeeded. So nothing happens to it. But I will give inspiration to Flounce. Flounce, we face creatures of dread air. Get your weapon and go on a tear.
Hmm.
Most joyfully.
And I'm just going to remain back here in the back
all
where I
right.
belong.
So the extremely fast-moving air elementals now proceed to move in. So this one is going to zip by to right there, and I'm going to count both those two as both in its space, and it's going to whirlwind. So those two guys are making a strength saving throw. Oh boy. Okay, and then one gets a critical success, the other one gets a 6. So the on a failure, all right, but it doesn't roll the damage for me. Okay. Okay, so on a failure, the one that failed takes 13 bludgeoning damage and is flung 20 feet away.
Ooh.
Wah!
Whee! Not.
And if the let's see, and if they save, I think, yeah, I think that they just don't take anything. Is that right? Saving throw is successful. They take half the damage. All right. Yeah. So that's 6 for that one. Okay, I'm gonna really quick log out of Roll20 and then log back in and hopefully it'll be a little speeded up for me right now because
Okay.
the amount of stuff that I have to do in it makes it not ideal to have the mouse be so unresponsive. I don't.
While you're doing that, I am going to kind of retroactively, I described that I have named my halberd, my +1 magic halberd, Spirit Cleaver.
Spirit Cleaver.
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
Excellent.
Okay.
I'm
there
gonna
we
have to
go.
incorporate that into inspiration.
All right. There was a couple of things that I did, but it seems to be better now. So, okay. That was just that first air elemental.
Yeah.
The next one is going to run up and try to do that same thing on Paolo, but I think he's the only one that is in the area this time. But he makes strength save. He is successful. And so he's going to take
Oh,
he's going to take 6
Okay.
also. Give me there we go. Okay. And then this one is going to zoom in, I think, to Deanoch. So strength save, please.
yes.
And
Strength
then
save.
I think these
My,
two are doing the same things to
Okay, the
Clouds
one that's
and
going
Cantan.
past me to get towards France, I'm going to take my Sentinel attack against.
Okay. All right.
Spirit Cleaver goes, swings out, hits a 19.
A 19 does hit.
Okay, so 13 points of slashing damage to it.
Okay, and it is magical.
Yep.
Ah. Yeah. So it howls in pain, which sounds like howling wind.
I got
but
a
it does.
13 on my strength save.
Okay, a 13 just saves, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Deanoch just kind of,
Yeah.
sees it coming and just stands firm.
Yeah, you are still going to take 8 bludgeoning damage as the wind batters at you. The one that that got stopped with the sentinel attack. Let me make sure what its range is. If it can, I think, yeah. So it can't reach anybody with its speed reduced to 0. So it's, yeah, it's stopped where it is and can't do anything. But the other one's coming at you, Canthan. So strength save.
Okay. 25.
So that'll
Yeah.
save. And
I would hope.
Saving grace.
and so you actually are going to take 11 bludgeoning damage.
Oof.
Rolled
Oh,
high on the
no.
damage that time. So that's the air elementals. Flounce, you're up.
All right.
Yeah. No
Big
lack of
bunny.
targets.
Big bunny.
Big bunny.
Big bunny.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
A rare bit.
And I'm going to move up to here because then that lets me hit
Any of
all
those.
3 of them basically.
Yeah. I liked the rare bit thing, Paul. It did not go overlooked.
Does Paul get inspiration for that?
Sure. Yes.
Well, okay, I'll
Yes,
take it.
Absolutely
I might need
deserves
it.
inspiration for that.
Okay. I'll take my glaive and hit the one directly in front of me that got stopped.
Okay.
And that is glaive to hit. It is a 21
Hits.
for, let's see, 9 slashing damage, and my glaive is a +1, so that
Okay.
should do
Full damage.
full damage.
Mm-hmm.
Second hit with the glaive. I can change targets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the one in front of Dianok.
Okay. The one enveloping
On top
Dianok?
of
Yeah, but I missed with a 9.
Okay, roll another attack. Because you got a 9, but that's a natural 1. Hey,
17.
Dianok, does 17 hit you?
Yeah, it does.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead and roll damage,
Okay.
Flounce. This is like you normally would be very careful to avoid hitting where Dianok was, but the very nature of trying to swing into where it's doing this whirlwind attack deflects your blow in an unexpected way. So that's 11 slashing damage for you, Dianok.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Sorry.
All right. Anything else for your
Ooh.
turn?
Yeah, the Steel Defender.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to fly over to Dianok and impose difficulty on the attack against any attack against Dianok.
Great. Okay. It is now the turn of of Paolo and the Dragon Hunters. So, first up, they've all got their long swords drawn, two-handed, and so 2 attacks from Paolo. Wow, those both miss. Sucks for Paolo. The one next to him gets a 19 and then a 7. So the first one hits and does 13 slashing, but unfortunately not magical. So that's only 6, but you know, what are you going to do? You can keep trying. The other 2 that are currently by that other one are going to keep doing their longsword. 16 will hit, and then 20 will hit for 8 total damage to it, with it being reduced, meaning it would be 16. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Okay, it's this one. And then 2 more. Ooh, crit, and then a 21.
Well, okay. So who's getting credit?
The air elemental
Is critting one of the fighters?
no,
but
it's
by-
the fighters
by-
are attacking.
Oh,
Yeah.
the fighters are hitting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just like, okay. I was about to throw
Yeah.
Silverly barbs.
No, the
at-
dragon hunter got a crit against the air elemental.
Okay. Okay.
So let's see. That's going to be after resistance is going to be a total of 8. Oh no, excuse me, 9. 9 slashing damage, and then the last one up here running over to continue doing his attack. With an 8 and a 10 are both going to miss. So that's their turn. Axel, you're up again.
Okay. I will Eldritch Blast the one that is engulfing Diana.
Okay.
Don't be pushy. Oh, yes, be pushy.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and as a general rule, everyone, please do go ahead and roll damage on your attacks, whether I have said hit or miss, just so we don't have to wait for that second roll to go through. You know.
Just roll all dice all together and then.
Yeah. All right. So 26 is certainly going to hit. 7 force damage. Do you push it? I would imagine.
Yes.
All right.
Here's a question.
And then a 22 also hits.
With a warlock's ability to push things and also reduce their movement, can you do both of those, or do you have to choose one?
I don't recall exactly what feature you're using for that. I mean, it's
a part of the it's for the Eldritch Blast.
Right, but I don't. Do you have 2 different features? One that says you can push them, and one that says you can slow their movement.
Yes, because they're the Eldritch invocations for that cantrip. It's Lance of Lethargy.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, if you chose 2 Eldritch invocations, I think it makes sense that they stack.
Oh, okay. That was one thing I was unsure about. I didn't know if they stacked.
Because you essentially spent the resource of having the Eldritch invocation to be able to have it do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so it's 2 damage for that attack. Okay.
And that's my turn. So I'm gonna stay where.
Do you push it again the second time? I would guess.
Yeah, I would like to actually push it if I could. I don't know if you could direct it, but yeah, in line with the other ones.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Kanthan, you currently have air elemental swirling around you.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Dianok setting off another fireball, so I don't want to be inside this thing. I'm going to step back to here. That shouldn't provoke any
Correct.
Attacks of opportunity. And now I will activate Biting Spirit, giving me advantage. And I'm going to attack this. You know what? I'm actually going to the one in the center of those 3 has actually been injured, and the one directly in front of me is not.
It has a little bit from the fireball. But
Okay.
I think in the meta,
Probably.
certainly you know that. I think in practice it would be very difficult to tell which ones are more hurt than others. But
yeah, I agree. So I'll go with the one that's right in front of me. 28 to hit.
Certainly
for
hits.
10 damage.
Nice.
And 23 to hit for 14 damage, total 24.
Nice.
Ooh. That's all right.
And 10
Good
temporary
damage.
hit points, which are quite
Yeah.
useful.
Okay. Good job. All right, Dianok.
Dianok, realizing that, fireball is a bit too big for as close as those things are. Is
You can set it off behind them back here, and it would.
Yeah.
they have something else they're gonna do.
Okay.
Well, a new plan.
They're pointing their wand and drawing a hand across it, and a ringing sound, painfully loud, is going to be centered on right here as I use Shatter.
Okay.
Conflict for all 3,
Sure.
because it's a 10-foot.
Mm-hmm.
Radius.
Yep.
That's still a good thing that I got out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, 16. 9. And 18.
So 2 save, 1 fail.
Mhm.
Fail takes 9, and the success takes 4, I believe.
Okay.
Thunder damage.
Okay.
Oh,
What? Only 9? Okay. That just.
Yeah, 3d8 and only got
Yeah.
one good number on the roll.
And unfortunately, it seems as though the shockwave, while it does do some damage to them, it seems that their fluid, airy nature allows them to just absorb some of that thunder damage. And
Better with the fire.
well,
Of
now you know that.
course.
Now you know that.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So Xenophon.
okay. So first, I'm going to look at Canthan and say, Spirit Cleaver with your halberd so bright. Show these air elementals some might. You get inspiration. And for my action, I'm going to reach into my bag of tricks and pull out something and throw it in the direction of the air elementals because I need a friend too.
Okay.
Bad.
Tell me what it is.
It is. It is a baboon.
A baboon.
Yep, so I throw a baboon right
Oh
there.
wow.
Okay. So yeah, I don't have a baboon token because why would they make an adventure that has that item in it and not give me the tokens for it? I don't know. Baboon is medium, I assume.
Yes.
All right. This commoner token is going to be a baboon.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll control. So you puts it right here or something.
Yeah, put it right there. Put
All
it
right.
Right.
Do they roll initiative?
I believe we've been having them go on my initiative.
That
so.
works fine. Okay.
Yep.
So,
Yep, the baboon will attack the air elemental. He gets advantage because he has an ally within 5 feet of him.
uh-huh.
So, I mean, he's not a very good attacker, but I will take the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And with the advantage, he gets a 19.
Okay, and 19 hits.
Doesn't do much. He's not going to do much damage, but I'm thinking he's just going to be something else for the elementals to worry about.
Sure.
He does 1 damage.
Actually,
Almost
to
a
me,
0.
it looks like he does 0 because it's
Okay.
a 1 minus 1.
You're right. So he does 0. So he
What
does
is it doing?
nothing.
He goes and he slams and his hand just goes right through it. It's like, oh, oh, oh.
Yes. So my baboon was not exactly effective.
Mhm.
But
All right. That makes it the Air Elemental's turn again. This one is going to move right on in. Well, so actually first, I have to roll this. I'm going to roll 5d6 to see which ones get their whirlwind back. Okay. Only one of them does. And it's not this one that I was having go first. So instead, it's just going to do 2 slams, one on Canthan and one on the baboon. So against Canthan, it gets a natural 1.
Whiff.
Yes, indeed. Against the baboon, it gets a 15.
that will hit.
It does 13 bludgeoning damage.
Bye bye, baboon. So once again, I pull something out of the bag of tricks and it doesn't last a round.
Hey,
Hey,
took
it saved
a
me.
hit.
That saved me getting hit.
Yeah.
Yes, it did save an attack on you for sure.
Mhm.
So yep.
And
So action economy.
one thing, didn't the second air elemental not actually get to use its whelm ability since it got stopped before it could
You are
get to the
correct.
target?
You are correct. So thank you for reminding me that, yes, this one's going to go in and
David.
use it on Flounce. No, you get inspiration for reminding me of something that's bad for the party. That's, you know what? I think that is a good rule.
Hey, I figure
No,
I
I
remind-
appreciate it. Yeah.
be honest with
Yeah,
her,
totally.
and she'll Yeah, it's with us.
Yeah, so I need a strength saving throw from Flounce and from the Steel Defender.
All right. I just want to double check.
I think you
Advantage on. I have advantage.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because you're big.
Yep. Big bunny. Natural 20.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Steel Defender. Let's see what you do. Let's see.
Uh,
That's a 16.
16 also saves. So the two of you are both able to stay where you are, but you are battered with 8 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Okay. This one is coming up here, and it's going to do 2 slams against Dianok.
Okay.
Slam 1, 19.
Shield.
Okay. Slam 2, 12.
Miss.
All right. So that is that one. This one is going to do Whirlwind again on Paolo. Who's going to do strength save? Fails this time. Nope. Shoot. I'm doing the wrong thing.
Oop.
So he takes 14 bludgeoning damage and is flung 20 feet. Skidding across the bricks of the bridge. Okay. And then the last one here is just going to slam against the one that it's got sort of, enveloped. Gets an 11 and an 18. The first does not hit, but the second does for 16 bludgeoning damage. That
Oof.
Dragon Hunter is, all of them are still look like they're kind of doing okay. They've taken some bruises, but they're not. No one's on death's door.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. All right, Flounce, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna attack this one that's sitting on top of me.
Okay. All right. Well, a 10 is not going to hit.
You could use your inspiration.
Yeah, let me use my inspiration.
All right.
Actually, it's
forgot
easier
to
to
put
roll
the dot
inspiration
on
on roll 20.
Mhm.
It's a D10. It was a D10
Okay,
actually,
well-
but that's fine.
So, well, you know what? How about this? The 8. We'll let the 8 stand.
Mhm.
And so you don't have to risk rolling the proper die, the higher die that's theoretically better, but also could risk not giving you enough. You're good. So you hit with that.
Okay, so that's a total of 14.
Mm-hmm.
And second attack,
Yeah.
natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Chop, chop.
But I'm just gonna roll it on roll 20.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore the giant's might.
Mm-hmm. Because that only goes for the first attack, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's 16. 16. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So as you slash through it, once you see it's struggling, it's disrupted, just like running your hand through the center of a dust devil, and then the second blow slices through it, and it dissipates like a puff of smoke.
Ooh,
Yay!
Never
nice.
was.
Yay. All right. My steel defender, I need to have a shortcut to this so that I can get to it.
Put it in the extras tab on your D&D Beyond.
Yeah, I'll try that while everybody else is going through their turns.
All right.
He's actually going to do Force Empowered Rend,
Okay.
which is let's see. It doesn't tell me what the attack is, so I'm just gonna roll a d20.
I think the feature says that it's based on your spell modifier or something. I would have I
Your
mean,
attack, my spell attack modifier.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to roll Firebolt,
Mhm.
and we'll just know that this is Force Empowered Rend,
Right.
and it's going.
Well, so that's a natural one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was the one that was over
Yeah. No, yeah.
Dianok.
Mhm.
At least
Well, but
Dianok is not inside.
Right. Yeah. He's not inside it anymore. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, so that didn't work. All right.
Yeah, they're not at risk of being.
Yeah. It just sort of
Okay.
whirls around. It does like the cartoon thing where its whole torso just like goes out to a U for a second.
Yeah.
Which is an elemental, air elemental actually
Thank you,
could.
Club Hub.
All right. Paolo dusts himself off and charges back. He's because he had to stand back up. You know what? Technically, he wasn't. It doesn't force prone, but I'm ruling it that way anyway. And he's attacking this same one. So longsword. 11, 22. 22 will hit for 4 slashing damage. Not a total, not a ton, but you know, some. Okay, now 2 attacks. It's going to be 13 slashing damage, reduced to 6. And then I'm going to just go ahead and roll all of the attacks now. 2. Okay, so then for the remaining 3, they're all attacking this rightmost one. So let's see, 24, 13, 10, 22, 21, 24. So that's a number of hits there. So 7 plus 11 plus 8. So wait, 18 plus 8 is 20, 26. 32 total, which reduces to 16. All right. Okay. Axel, your turn. One's destroyed. They've all been, all the remaining ones have been whittled down somewhat.
Okay, let's see. So I will Eldritch Blast the one. Actually,
You're gonna move one. Yeah. Never mind.
Let's see. I'll move there. Fucking. See. And I will Eldritch Blast the one in front of Kanban. $23.
Yeah, 23 hits. For 1 damage. Something's happening with your mic, I think. We don't, unless you weren't saying
Sorry.
anything.
No, I hadn't. I was going back and it didn't pop up in the chat until.
Okay.
Oh man, lousy luck on the
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you
But
push
I
it
just-
twice, I imagine.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I will reduce its speed, but I don't think it'll matter.
Okay. Canthan.
I'm going to take the opportunity that he's given me to maneuver here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to go 10, 20, 30 feet over to here and take a whack on the one that everybody's ganging up on.
All right.
Hmm.
21 to hit for 13 damage.
Nice.
22 to hit for 11 damage. Total of 24.
Okay. Yeah, a couple of really good strikes on that one. Okay, Dianok.
Enoch pulls out their short sword, draws their wand across it, and cast magic weapon. That's bonus action and attacks.
Okay.
Oh, Dianok gets violent.
Well, I mean, DNX
He's
So-
done that.
uses-
Danok's been using
Yeah,
that
they've
sword.
done
Yeah,
it
yes.
before.
It's not
Yeah.
from fireballs to being personal now.
Well,
So-
not merely violent, but using the short sword before, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, they have.
So that's a 27 to hit,
Hits.
and that is 6 damage.
All right.
Magic.
Okay. That makes it Xenophon, your turn.
Yeah, I'm feeling left out of this attack the elemental party. So I am going to cast Sacred Flame on it. It gets a dex saving throw, which it's probably good at, but
Probably good at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot anyway.
It got a 17.
It made
Oh.
it. So
Oh wait, no, wait. No, it got a 16. I saw you have a 17 DC. That's pretty good.
Yes, I do because my charisma is 20.
All right. Well, I guess that's
Oh.
what I get for remembering that you guys are actually a relatively high level getting up there. Okay. So,
So it takes
yeah.
5 radiant damage then.
So tell me how does your sacred flame destroy this thing?
So I reach up, holding in my hand as if I'm going to talk, hold it out, and then the sacred flame burrows up from inside of it and explodes in a fountain.
Uh-huh.
And the air elemental is dissipated in radiant damage.
That's exactly what happens. And I went ahead and gave you the narration there because on their turn, the remaining 3 disengage and float away.
Yahoo!
They are extremely fast. Obviously, one of them has its speed reduced, but otherwise they are all immediately 90 feet away. So I don't know if you guys care about trying to fire
I'm
after
not
them or
interested in
whatever.
hunting elementals.
I don't think that's necessary.
I could reach it with the firebolt, but not worth it.
The fire bolt, go ahead. It's a cantrip.
Well, I don't want to make them change their minds. Yeah, they're running. They're probably not going to mess with us again for a little bit at least. And
Until somebody rolls a 2 again.
we'll see.
Okay, so certainly as they all float away, the dragon hunters kind of collect themselves to see how everyone's doing. They're doing okay. They definitely come over and it's like, wow, you guys really know your stuff. I'm glad to have you with us. Hate fighting air
Likewise.
elementals though. They don't leave any trophies. Like you just you get beat up and bruised and for nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got to use a few tricks.
So you continue on your way for this long sky bridge.
Okay. And just for flavor, I'm going to cast Mending on my Steel Defender so that it's back to.
Okay. Well, for that
Cool.
matter, if you all decided that you wanted to take a short rest or something. Like,
Yep,
I mean,
I
you
think
tell
that
me.
would be a good idea.
A short rest, I get my bardic inspirations back,
Yeah.
which might be useful.
So let's take a short rest.
Yeah.
All right. So, I am not going to mess around with hit dice for the dragon hunters. I'm just going to put them back to full.
Okay. Use arcane recovery because why not?
I mean, yeah, if we do short rests, I can keep throwing those d10s at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Paolo says, you were asking before if they just attack like this, and I mean, they don't always come near. I mean, sometimes you just see them from a distance, but I mean, generally speaking, the seas and the elements around here are just not that friendly. It's part of the reason these sky bridges just make all the difference for you know, our this land being a land instead of just a bunch of tiny little islands that don't have any contact with each other. Like with the bridges, we could just go across. But I guess in other places where there's islands, people use ships, but the oceans here are hazardous.
Are there water elementals in the oceans?
Oh yeah, among other things.
Oh, well,
I mean, you know, we're tough, and we're just talking about like why average people don't do that. There's not a lot of trade that way, but you know,
Right.
thanks to the good Byakunos that you know made all of these bridges so many years ago. Those are handy. So you know, just you know, it's not like we're against all of them.
just the one that betrayed your clan.
Well, yeah.
I give a nod of respect and understanding.
All right. So once you all kind of get on your way again, it's just another kind of long day of travel. It rains for you on you for a little bit, but you know, otherwise, I think the landscape just continues to be beautiful, but nonetheless, there's not a lot of change. You know, it's compared to places that you've been before, the travel is relatively easy, just because
It's
you know
a paved road.
Yeah, it's a paved road. There's not any like other than you know like there's no forest for anything approaching to hide within until it's right on top of you. The air elementals kind of like, you know, at least you kind of saw them coming and could kind of prepare yourself a little bit, even as fast as they are. But, you know, just continuing to make your way along.
Yeah.
And so towards the end of this second day of travel, you happen across, you know, I'm just going to decide what order these happen in. At this point, you see, as just mentioned, with the nature of these bridges, that you are able to see things quite a ways away, and so this encounter though does kind of surprise you a little bit in the sense that you realize that they are actually a lot closer than you thought, because when you see a humanoid figure approaching in the distance, you assume they are like it. I'm getting this backwards. The point is they're big. It's a giant.
It's a giant.
So your initial assumption is that so you assume that they are closer, and then but as they keep coming, you realize, oh wait, no, this is actually an enormous giant. And so who among you do you think would actually have any like knowledge about giants? Oh yeah, so yeah, you know what? I think Flounce would actually just know. This is a cloud giant.
Okay.
Which is good news, because generally speaking, cloud giants are considered to be, you know, they're not hostile unless, you know, like provoked, like given reason, but they're not just naturally angry at other small folk. And in fact, this one, although he has like a giant sized staff that you suspect would be pretty dangerous were they to see fit to try to use it on you, it's kind of tucked along in like across their back, like, you know, not even in a like in a place to easily draw it from, but just like it's packed up. They're not, you know, brandishing it or anything. And so they're just walking along, and as they see you quite a ways off, they just say, "Hello there! How's the travel today?" And they say this in giant.
And I speak giant. So I will
Appropriately
yell.
enough.
I will yell back, "So far, so good." Kind of like Dory talking to whales.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
And they're continuing to shout as they approach. So as they come, it's not actually requiring quite so much yelling. But he's like, "Oh my goodness! Someone who speaks giant. I usually call out in giant first just in case, but more often I have to switch to common."
Well, I think I'm the only one who speaks giant of my party, so if you would not mind switching to common so the rest of my friends can speak to you.
Sure. I do actually have a handout for Cloud Giant.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
He looks
Yep.
Scottish.
He looks like Dracula went to a heavy metal party
In Glasgow.
Yeah,
in Glasgow.
only 30 feet tall.
Yeah.
Only 30 feet tall.
Yeah, and he's doing the Hades in the Hercules movie blue hair thing.
Yeah. he's mixing his inspirations. a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, mixing his metaphors.
So,
But yeah, that's awesome.
so I think he's just making his way along and say, so and he switches to common and he has kind of an accent, so it's like, so all of you are traveling the Sky Bridge today. What brings you this way? The island you go to usually not so much nice place for small folk.
We seek the Bakunawa that has been a terror to us small folk in recent times.
Oh, that is too bad. Which Bakunawa has been a terror?
The player will not be able to pronounce the name, but I'm sure the bard can pronounce
So,
this properly.
Panil
Panil
Nang
Nang
Buon.
Panil Nang Wong.
Yeah. So I am surprised to hear this, but I do not call you liar. Has this been a long time problem?
I
Our
think it was just recent.
The attacks on the city have been recent.
yes.
Ah. Well, I hope no one was hurt too badly.
Surprisingly, no fatalities.
We were able to render
Yes.
some aid as well.
That is a blessing. What else happens to small folk?
We encountered some air elementals recently, but yeah, we forced them into retreat.
Ah, well, I am glad to hear this. The air elementals usually leave me alone, but then I am perhaps not so easy to fling off the bridge.
No, most definitely
Yeah.
not good giant. It is a long walk for small folks such as us. Perhaps not such a long walk as you as we have undergone across these magnificent bridges.
So tell me, you follow Pangil Nangbuon for attacks. Do you intend to fight him? And at this, Paulo says, yes, my clan has a blood feud with him. Oh, well, I do not wish to get involved with blood feuds. So I suppose that I wish that the gods will see victory to whoever is on the right side. And may that be you, if
Thank
you
you.
are, in fact, on the right side. I do not wish to take part either way.
Thank you, good giant. Is there anything you can tell us about the island besides the Bakunawa that we should be on the lookout for?
Well, as I mentioned, not many travelers to Lambakula these days. I myself did not stay there long. I came from the Hope's Dagger Sky Bridge, and then just made my way across the Weeping Paths to this bridge itself. So I do not stay there very long. It is a haunted place.
Weeping Pass.
Yes, it is swampy.
Ah,
Easier for me than I suppose for you. There is also lots of ash in the air.
Okay. That's
Another
something to
volcano.
watch out for.
Mm.
Well, it's not a volcano, it's fires.
Ah,
There is fighting there, but I do not join in. It is not my place.
Ah,
What is the fighting over?
It is the people who seek to make the island safe again against the many undead who remain there.
wow.
what caused the undead to such beings of unlife to erupt onto the island?
This I do not know. I merely passed through.
Well, perhaps we might find out.
Well, I suppose if you do, then I hope it is something that you can assist with and not be killed by.
Thank you.
I wonder if the shield bearers know of this unrest.
Well, I do not know that either, but as you see, I bear no shield.
But we do. I'll do this to my chest.
He gives you a little bit of a look like, aw.
Small
Yeah.
shield for a small person.
Because he's
Yes.
like he's so big, but he's kind of squatting down on his haunches to talk to you. Because like you guys like come up like not quite to his knee. Otherwise, so rather than like yelling down at you and making you yell back up to him. Well, it has been lovely chatting with you. I hope that you do not die on Lambakula.
Thank you.
We do too.
May your travels be safe and pleasant, good giant.
To you as well. And he starts heading off, and it's just enormous steps as he moves on into the distance.
Okay. Undead. That's
Mm.
that's something that's going to be interesting to go up against. I do wonder where they came from.
There's more to this world than meets the eye, clearly.
Oh yes, and definitely some interesting stuff that does meet the eye too.
Indeed. Shall we continue?
Yep.
Let's go.
So you finish like walking through the day till you've kind of so I guess it is fair to ask if you all want to do forced march or if you're just going ahead and sticking to the 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a forced march is the smartest thing we can do, especially given the dangers of this world.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it slows it down, but I don't see that we have a doom clock that would make us do a forced march.
Mhm.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No,
So
No, I don't
I'd
think so.
say the same.
So I think that the Paulo and his crew look like they might have been willing to do a little bit more, but they would rather stay together if you guys are going to help them. They don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to wear themselves out and not have you for helping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So they stick around too, and you have another night on the bridge.
More sauce, Canthan?
Yeah, sure. I've got plenty.
All right. So, as you get underway again the next morning, you are traveling for a couple of hours, and then in the you see her before you hear it, but there is a small figure crouching near one of the draconic statues adorning the bridge that you see kind of in the distance. And as you get a little closer, it appears to be an old woman, and she is singing to the statue in a gentle voice. And Paula says, "Ah, a bone singer. That's good luck."
How is that good luck, Paolo?
What is a bone singer?
Oh, I mean, the bone singers are. I mean, you know about these bridges, right? Like they're enchanted with the bones of the great Bakunawa. So, the bone singers are like priests, I guess. You know that they try to keep the magic preserved and the like. You know they honor the sacrifice made that makes the bridges stay up.
So this person's at least doing what they can to help keep the bridge up.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good job.
Priest engineers. Yeah, that's a good gig.
Yeah. So as you approach, she stops singing and sees you, and she kind of, she had been sitting facing the statue, and she kind of scoots herself so she's facing you, and waves and smiles as you approach, and she says, "Greetings, travelers. I hope that your travel along the Flames Everlasting Skybridge have been pleasant."
They've been rewarding and interesting.
Ah, that's wonderful. I have to ask you though, where is it that you are attempting to travel to?
Lambakula, as it so happens.
So, are you not? Are you either not aware of the dangers there, or is it that you are seeking those dangers out?
We are seeking whom we believe to be a denizen of that island.
Really? Who?
The Hana Wang Long.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you didn't say it, Paolo was going to.
Yeah.
And she just says, a Bakunawa attacked Kalapang?
Yes.
Oh, that's horrible.
We've been told that it was corrupted by something.
Oh, dear. Well, I don't know of any corruption specifically, but I have to say, if there was going to be a place in this land that would corrupt such a thing as a Bakunawa, I do believe it might be found on Lambakula.
Why do you say that?
It is a bad place. It has been haunted by battles long past and fires unfought. It is a poisoned place.
How long has
That
it
would
been poisoned?
Oh,
Do you know?
quite some time before my time, at least. But I will say, though, that I did hear a Bakunawa's call over the sky bridge last night. So I do hope that all of this can come to the best possible resolution. But I do
Indeed.
believe a Bakunawa passed this way.
Thank you for that information, good bone singer. We appreciate your knowledge and your wisdom and your help in maintaining these wonderful sky bridges. You do them honor.
Well, if you all would like to honor the bridges along with me, you are welcome to join into my song for a time.
I would be delighted. I'm not even going to let anyone else say no. I'd be delighted.
I would too.
Alrighty,
Okay. Yeah.
Here we
So
go.
so she begins her song, which is, it's a little complex, but it's not long before it repeats. And so you're able to kind of pick it up, but go ahead and whoever would like to make a performance check to try to sing along with her.
Ooh, we're older
Try
one.
that, 'cause why not?
Grounce knows better.
Uh,
All right.
Enoch doesn't and got a 0.
Okay.
Oh,
Whoa.
some of us are
Worse
attuned
than
and some
me.
of us
All
are
right.
not.
Well, so a couple of sour notes,
Sour notes,
in
yeah.
there, but more than made up for by brilliant performances from both Xenophon and Exel. And I think that she is delighted by the addition of your voices for a time. And I think that there is a while when you're singing that you even like it doesn't feel quite like an actual magical spell or effect, but there's a moment where you just sort of you can almost imagine that you can see the enormous Bakunawa is much bigger than the one that you saw back at the city. That as though that you can imagine them hearing you sing. And the thought is not like a full vision, but it does sort of come to you unprompted. But in any case, she says, I have not had travelers join me with such splendid voices in quite some time. Here, let me give you this. And she pulls a necklace off of her head, and it has a number of beads on it. And the beads look like tiny little fangs. And she says, this is a necklace of prayer beads, and I believe that it will serve you well. And in particular, if you have need to travel quickly, it can benefit you in that way. And it has a couple of other beads as well. So first, I would like someone. Let's see. Xenophon got slightly higher than Exel, so I think she hands it to Xenophon. Xenophon, roll a d4 for me.
Roll a d4. Oh, 1.
Okay. So there are three beads on it.
3 beads.
Yeah. And one of them, roll 2 d20s.
2 d20s. 3 and a 19.
Okay. She points out the beads in turn and says, this is the one that I spoke of. It can cast the spell Wind Walk, which can temporarily transform you into a sort of ethereal, almost like an air elemental creature that can travel with great speed. You cannot really interact with anything in that form, but for simple travel, it is very speedy. You also have another very powerful bead here that summons a planar ally. And then this last is a simple bless bead.
Wow,
You honor us.
that is powerful.
Yeah.
Very
So
much so.
you can add to your inventory necklace of prayer beads. It does require attunement by a cleric, druid, or paladin. You know what?
Oh.
I think that's what it says here, but I think bard also, because you got it for singing.
Yeah.
Why would it not be a bard?
It was-
I guess it's because its expectation is it's like divine magic rather than arcane, whatever. But I'm saying a bard could also do it.
Okay.
But
it
you
was
decide if
gifted
you,
because by a cleric, so
yeah. So basically, the 3 beads you have are bless, planar ally, and wind walk.
Yeah, those are potent. Whoa.
Indeed, and Windwalk in particular, she says, Windwalk actually should be enough if you all are in a hurry. It would be enough for you to, and all of your friends to transform and make use of it.
You and up to 10 willing creatures
Mm-hmm.
assume a gaseous form with flying speed of 300 feet for up to 8 hours.
Yes, that
Crazy.
is.
But here's the thing though, right? We don't know where on the island we need to go.
No,
If
it may
we
not
had
be
a
used.
specific destination we were going to.
Yeah, we could
that'd
go
be
run right
great,
to it.
but we
Mhm.
don't. We need to explore.
Yeah.
We need to find out what's going on. We need to look around. So
And
We
Paolo
may
that's why
says,
it's not-
well, okay, but counterpoint, it's going to take us all day and some of tomorrow to even get to the island. Otherwise, we can
That's
just
true.
save all that time. We're chasing it, right? It's going to have that much more time to hide up somewhere.
Hmm.
Well,
I'll leave it up to you.
well,
I think it should be a party decision.
well,
Do we speed up our travel or not?
well, Paulo, have you ever been to this island? Is there anything on the island that we could use as a landmark or may say a camp?
I mean,
Isn't there a giant tree?
yeah, that's what I was just going to say is you're going to see it when we get a little closer and pass through the clouds. But yeah, there's a great big tree. And when I say great big tree, you're probably thinking of a big tree. And I'm saying this is a great big tree.
Ah,
But I mean, more specifically, yes, we'll see the big tree, but is there somewhere like a camp or some sort of place that you had intended to?
Well, I have
Shelter?
not been there myself, but I know that there's a base camp. And remember, the Cloud Giant said that there was people fighting it because they're trying to reclaim the island.
mhm.
So
Oh,
I'm
there.
sure they have a camp.
Well,
Well,
if we expedite our travel, maybe we could find one of these camps or the main camp and use that instead of
Mhm.
just blindly going to the island.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, my guess is that they're going to be camped right around where the end of the bridge is. But I don't know.
I think we can go there. That we can ask around, maybe get some information there. So
Yeah.
so we could probably, rest of today and most of tomorrow. That's, I think, with the speed of that spell, we could probably get there today and have some time left over.
Yeah. You the Windwalk is so fast, it would basically let you in a couple of hours do what would otherwise take all day and into tomorrow.
So, and that's,
let's do that.
I think it's a good idea to use it now.
Clouds?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
I think we have a quorum. So I am going to bow to the Bone Singer, and I'm going to activate the Windwalk bead for me, my companions, and the hunters,
Okay.
and turn us into gaseous form.
Yes, and so what everybody kind of suddenly realizes the magical potential within them is that you can take a full minute to turn yourself into this sort of wispy cloud-like form, and in that form you can't really like talk, but you can sort of like gesture. And besides, all you really need to do right now is follow the bridge, and you know that you can transform back at any time you like, but it will take a full minute to do that once you decide to.
I'm gonna fly fancy and like go spiral down under the bridge and up over it again and do loop loops and stuff like
Yeah.
that because this is amazing.
I think Flounce is just doing straight Superman.
That's
Fist first.
Well, see, I was just gonna ask because Superman has a couple of classic flying poses. He has the both hands out. He also has the one hand fully out and one hand kind of fist like that.
Yeah, I think this is. I think this one was the both hands fully out. Yeah. Bob is flying beside me.
Theonok's not doing anything super fancy, just as everything's flashing by, just kind of looking at the bridge, trying, probably missing most details, but taking in whatever details they can.
Well,
That is the one disadvantage of
yeah.
the speed.
For a long while, there's really not a lot other than the bridge itself to see, which doesn't make it any less spectacular. It's just like water,
More bridge,
and
more
water
bridge.
and bridge. It's like if you want to turn to the left, you're going to see some water and sky, and,
And we're walking.
directly ahead
and
of
we're
you
walking.
is bridge. Behind you, also a bridge. and on the right, you're gonna see some water and sky. But eventually, though, before too long, now that you're traveling so quickly, the mist on the horizon parts, revealing a gigantic tree, thousands of feet tall. Its highest branches hidden by clouds, and that would be more surprising if it wasn't already on the handout that I gave you.
Yeah.
Um, the great tree's boughs are bent, barren, and lifeless, which the handout is not as clear on that. But yes, the tree does not look bent, barren, and lifeless is what it looks like. And so, if anyone would like to make a history check, you may.
Yes.
Yes.
21.
Okay.
18.
Yeah,
Yep, I think
so-
Enoch has the advantage, yeah.
Both of you know that now that you think about it, is that this tree is known as the Bathalang Puno, which is one of the holy trees of the Dayolongon archipelago, but it was burned by invaders long ago. And soon after the characters sight the tree, the stench of ash permeates the air.
I see why
Aw.
there's undead.
Mm.
This is a dark place.
Yep.
This is the second invasion I've heard of. This is this place. And
Well, you
also
guys
yours.
technically can't talk right now, but
Yeah, we can't talk.
Um,
We're wind.
but what I can do is go ahead and put you on. There is a map of this island.
Yay! A map! A map!
About a palpable map.
Mm-hmm.
So did we come from the north or from the west?
From the north. I'm putting the labels on there now.
Okay. There we
So,
are.
Yeah. And so as you are flying towards it, like what you can kind of see as you're flying towards it is that this island, you first of all, I'll put the label of the big tree on it. So the tree is that big, but it's also on this kind of southeastern part. But the rest of the island basically just all looks like gross swamp and some hills and stuff.
Okay.
But as you get a little closer and you're getting towards the final bend of the Flames Everlasting Bridge, you see the Sky Bridge descends onto a sizable island overgrown with tangled swamp vegetation and covered in a haze tasting of ash. A few acres at the Sky Bridge's end have been cleared and surrounded by a wooden palisade. Within, simple wooden buildings and dingy tents form an encampment.
Right there at the bottom of the bridge, I'm going to start turning material again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are
Yep.
no longer spirits in the material world.
Yep.
You are still, however, living in a
In a
material world.
That's exactly what my
That's a
brain
different
did.
song. We have switched from the police to Donna.
Yeah. DNR will follow if Camp Dan is going
Yeah.
to land and change back.
Indeed.
All right.
Pity, but yeah, we gotta return to our forms to be able to interact.
If I understand it correctly, we can return back again until the spell ends.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, then okay, then we still have some hours in case we need it.
So,
That's good.
one note here is that you see as you're getting close that there are some guards who have set up kind of a little checkpoint right at the base of the bridge, because the base of the bridge is on the inside of the palisade, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But they do have some sentries there who look like their purpose is to question anyone coming through, right? So the question is, since you are capable of just flying overhead and landing wherever you want, do you bypass those sentries or do you transform before you get to them?
I think we transform before we get to them.
Yeah. Yeah, we
because
don't
we
want to
have to show
start
that we're
hostile.
friendly.
Yeah. that would be a hostile act to come in insubstantial and suddenly into the middle of their palisade. That would lead to pointed questions and pointed weapons. So I
Yeah.
think you
Because
I mean, like,
Earth element
or if
or
we really,
wind
really
elementals.
wanted to, we could just skip their palisade entirely.
we
But-
could, but we need information and
Yeah.
stuff, and so we need to talk to these people and
Okay.
find out what they know.
Okay.
So yeah, so we're gonna stop short of the actual entry.
So do you do it close enough that the sentries see you transforming back?
Oh, that's a good question.
Entirely up to you.
I think well,
there's advantages to doing that, also disadvantages to doing that. Xenobon's going to transform a couple 100 feet out.
Okay.
and when I
And-
see that, I'll transform it.
Yeah, and then just
Okay.
Yeah.
decide to walk because,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and then
So
walk
you-
the rest of the way.
Yeah.
As fun as flying is for the moment, yeah, we'll put that on the side.
Okay. So as you approach the sentries, you see that the let's see. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So there are 4 sentries, and they are armed with crossbows. And as they see you approach, they kind of alert, like they were paying attention, but now they're active, right?
Yeah.
Because they see someone. They just say, "Who goes there?"
We are the Order of the Golden Prawn
And some friends.
Yep.
and some
Okay.
friends.
Paolo kind of gives you a side eye of that and just says, "Yeah, this is the what was his last clan name? Paolo Calapan, was that it?
Yeah. I think
This
so.
is the Calapan clan. We're monster hunters, here to work our trade."
Thank
Really a monster.
Yeah, and so they nod that you can kind of approach closer, and they're not, they don't have their crossbows like brandished or anything. They're just, so they're monster hunting. What about the rest of you?
We are here in the matter of the Bakanawa who has attacked the city recently.
What?
We're from the Radiant Citadel.
Yes,
The
we are
shield bearers.
Well, no. Okay, hey, back up. The Bakanawa that attacked the city?
Yes.
Say more, please.
Well, recently the Bacchanal Panawang Long struck the city of
Kalapang.
Kalapong, and apparently layers here. We are here to find out why it is striking out so violently against people without prior cause or concern.
And to deal with it.
And to deal with it.
Okay. And so like they're looking concerned. They kind of whisper to each other, and then they just say, "So I mean, thanks for telling us, but we did not know that. We've been here, obviously." But and then actually, as they're getting ready to say more, someone shouts out, "Right!" And it's like, hold that thought. And they start lining up, and you see sort of drifting towards the bridge, you see some sort of spectral ghostly figures that look like spirits of burn victims
Oh, great.
drifting in
Ah.
your direction.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm actually
well-
going to use the same map that we just did for the air elementals,
Yeah.
just because you've got a lot of the same people already on it.
Yeah. I get in line.
Now I have the song in my head.
All right. Let's see. Let me get our sentries on there. And so you on the turn tracker, you probably still all see yourselves, right?
George
Uh,
Walker
no.
is blank.
Oh,
for-
we're still on the island map.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you, roll 20, 11, 2.
Yeah,
Have a
now
drink.
I'm on the
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And we've got our turn orders.
Yeah. So do re-roll initiative though, because that's
Yep.
Yep.
um,
It's done. Even though it's
Oof.
not.
Oof. Oof. Not so good.
About the same.
all right. Wow. Okay, and then paste sentries, and now some got some wraiths coming in. Does not like maps that have this many tokens on it. Guys gotta go ahead and break up with these dragon hunters.
Well, we probably will, based on what Xenophon
Paolo's
just said.
Yeah, Xenophon kind of put a wedge there.
Okay.
Okay. Exel continues to have excellent initiative scores.
Yeah.
Way ahead of everybody.
Mhm.
And they are coming in from my side of it. That's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too. I tell you.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got a handout for you, although this is the standard Wraith handout as opposed to the specific burn victim Wraiths that we're
Yeah,
dealing
this
with.
one looks a little more lordly than a burn victim. Little
Yeah.
crown.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
These are a little more
A little
lower.
more ring wraithy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the level of Wraithness is accurate.
Okay.
Right. So.
Okay.
Bonus action dread form.
Oh, these things go before me. Oh, that's gonna be bad.
Wonderful. 9 temporary points. And I will.
Where's my rabbit hub?
It's too close. Yeah, and I will Eldritch Blast one of the one directly in front of me and the one directly in front of Xenophon.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
I'll move this over here. Okay.
17.
Okay. I mean, 17 does hit.
Okay, and he takes 4 points of damage, and I will push him 10 feet back and reduce his movement. And
How much do you reduce his movement?
just 10 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. Wraiths, you saw them flying in really fast, so
Yeah. Well,
but you know, do what you can.
16.
16 also hits.
Awesome. So I will push and reduce the one in front of Xenophon.
Mhm.
Yeah, they don't take much damage from me. And wisdom saves from them. DC 16.
Okay. Let's see. They are not immune to fear. Wisdom saves. That's a 5. And an 8. They both fail.
So they are afraid of me.
All right.
Phew.
Yeah, my roll of 20 is just really chugging tonight. I'm not sure what's up with that. But anyway. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that'll be it.
Okay. Paolo kind of sidles up here and he draws his longbow and he fires at it. But that's only a 6 to hit. Does he get 2? His multi-attack only applies to sword, so only 1 arrow then. But the others are all firing their own, so I think the other 4 are going to The first one is attacking that same one, and then the other 3 each get one. A crit for that one.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hey,
And so what would be 8 piercing is only 4 because ghost.
Because
Yeah.
Ghost.
Mm-hmm. Ghost. Yeah. How did I end up with an extra veteran up there? He doesn't belong there. And longbow. Okay, only one of the others hits, but he hits for 9 piercing, which becomes 4 because ghost.
because ghost.
Yep. All right, Flounce, you're up.
All right. Let's just make everybody's life easier and keep Big Bunny
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
play.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to move up to here.
Mhm.
Actually, no, I'm going to move up to here because I want to be able to protect Exel. And I'm going to hit this one with my glaive.
Okay.
First attack is a 24 to hit
24 hits. Yeah.
for 19 damage.
Very nice.
And second glaive attack.
Mhm.
That one was a 9. Well, it was a 1
Yeah.
critical miss, but I didn't hit anybody with it.
Nope.
Um,
That was a
and-
unique circumstance. I don't usually have that happen.
And my steel defender is going to come up here and impose difficulty on anybody attacking Xenophon.
Bless your heart.
Okay, great. It is now the Wraith's turn. This one that you sliced at is coming right for you. And it is. I need you to, as it reaches its hand out towards you. It does roll to attack on that. All right. It gets a dirty 20 to hit. I need
That'll
you
hit.
to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is that with the disadvantage?
No,
Is it not one of the frightened ones? Oh,
It's not one of the frightened ones.
no. But I roll with. I think with Giant Smite, I roll with advantage. No, that's just on Constitution saves.
This is
Or
Constitution,
strength
but yeah, that's on.
That's
strength.
just on strength.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. But I got a dirty 20.
Okay, so you do take 24 necrotic damage. However, your hit point maximum is not reduced.
ooh.
Oof.
All right.
Yeah.
And I will yell out, "These things are like nasty."
Mhm.
They surely are.
Yeah. So this one is coming up. I think actually it's also just going for you. You're big and you're the one that's attacked so far.
Yeah,
So.
that's the point.
Yeah. It gets a crit.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs as a reaction.
Okay. So what
Good
does
choice.
that do?
Oh,
okay.
and it doesn't get a crit because I have adamantine armor.
Ah, there you go. So the silvery barbs. What remind me what the silver?
You magically distract a triggering creature. It must re-roll the d20 and use the lower roll.
Okay. Well, that makes it miss. You do
Okay.
expend that, but
Okay.
yeah.
Then I choose a different creature you can see within range. And they have advantage on their next attack roll, ability roll, saving throw it makes within 1 minute. I'm going to use that on myself
Yeah.
Okay.
Good idea.
because I think it's coming right at me, and I might need a saving throw save.
Okay. Well, so in any case, this one, congratulations, Flounce, because if you had taken that crit, which you wouldn't have for twice over, but it would have been a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Okay. So
There might have
these
been
other
more,
two can't move any closer to Exel, but they are fast enough
can
that they
circle
can
around.
circle around, and this one attacks this veteran. The sentry but the veteran is just the creature type. And it has disadvantage though on its attack because of the fear.
Here.
So it only got an 11, so it doesn't hit. This one, let's see, what's its range that it has to stay from Exel? 30 feet. Okay.
Gonna swoop way around.
Yeah, but let's see. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Can it be here? No. Yeah, so it's swooping way around like this, but that and you know what? Actually, it's going to use its action to dash, and it's going to get up to one of these dragon hunters, but it had to use its action to do that.
Yeah, I was afraid. I'm glad it's not coming after me, but
Well,
yeah,
it can't
got
right
jump back
now.
lines. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's going to back lines.
Yeah. All right, Xenophon, you're up.
All right. Let's see. So Dianok and Canthan are below me in the initiative order. So first things first, let's do some. Let's give some inspiration to Canthan, because you're going to probably need it. So Canthan, with your mighty halberd, turn these rates back allward. So you get inspiration, and all right. So we got a whole bunch of potential situations there. I'm going to go with straight up, because these things are undead. I'm going to go try to cast Sacred Flame on that one.
Okay.
So it gets a dex save.
Mm-hmm.
Please fail. Please fail. Please fail.
It got a 17, so it just succeeds.
Damn it! It's going to be 12 radiant damage too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, and I'm going to move to here. Let's get a little out of the way of
Okay.
of wraiths, and that is my turn. Dang it.
Sure. Okay. That makes it Dinok's turn.
Okay, so I need these 3 to make intelligence saves, because I'm doing Tasha's Mind Whip at 4th
Okay.
level, so it gets can target all 3 of them.
All right. Intelligence save. Oops. Oh, I clicked
That's
initiative.
keeping in
That's
mind.
initiative, not intelligence save. Hang on. Okay. Intelligence. Natural 1. For a total of 2. 10. And 19.
Okay, so the all but the 19
Mm-hmm.
fail and take 4 damage,
Okay.
and can only move, take an action, or a bonus action. And the one that doesn't, that succeeded, just takes 2 psychic damage and is otherwise unaffected. As a Dianok eyes turn around and they say, "Leave."
Mm-hmm. All right. That one takes 2 damage, but not. Yeah. Okay. Canthan.
All right. I don't like these normies in the back not having having support. So I am going to head in their direction, 10, 20, 30 feet. And I will activate Fighting Spirit. And start whacking away with Spirit Cleaver.
Yay.
A 12.
12 does not hit.
You could use your inspiration.
You
Oh,
do
yeah,
have
let me use that.
inspiration. Yep.
Yep.
You only need a 13, so you're probably so that you got exactly what you needed.
Inspiration was enough. Yeah. So yeah, I spend that, and the first hit of the 2 does 7 damage. The second hit does 13.
Nice.
And this is a bad enough fight. I don't like wraiths. I'm gonna go ahead and activate my action surge
Okay.
and attack twice more. 28 for 11 damage
Mhm.
and 22 for 13 damage.
Whoa, that's a lot of chopping.
Nice.
All right. You have rendered it substantially more wispy than it was before.
Ripping ectoplasm out
Yep.
left and right.
Yeah, the blade of your weapon as it emerges seems at first dripping with some kind of slime, but it just seems to evaporate almost instantly as soon as it's past the form.
Hmm.
All right. It is now the sentry's turn. The one that was right here by that wraith is going whoa, 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 and disengaging to get to back way up away.
I can't blame
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
behind Flounce.
it.
Yeah. The other three are firing heavy crossbows at the one that had attacked their colleague there. 13 to hit, 6 to hit, and another 6 to hit. Okay, well that's not very good. So they, among the three there, they do total of 3 actual damage, which is not great for them. Okay. That is them. Exel, you are up again.
Of the order.
Alrighty.
And the ones that were frightened are no longer, right? Because it's your turn again.
At the end of my turn, yep.
Okay, well, yeah.
They are up in Flounce's face.
Mhm.
I would like that. Yeah. Nothing super good. So I will just Eldritch Blast them. Each one.
Okay.
for
16 hits.
6 points.
Mhm.
Then I'll push that first one.
Which is good because of the Mind Whip effect on them. They can't move and attack on the same turn right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice. 21 and max damage.
Okay.
2 points
Nice.
to that
I
one.
think actually probably that one would be there. And then that one takes 10. There we go. And do they have to do the saving throws, the wisdom saves?
Yep.
Okay. 6. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to rule that other roll is also for that. So they both roll a 6.
They are still afraid.
Those are literally the 2 that weren't afraid before, but now they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and any other ones that are still around that were afraid are no longer. So.
Right.
You've put the fear of your patron into them.
Yeah.
Considering the nature of its patron.
We don't know that yet.
Wow. Meta. Nature of its patron.
Yes.
It's fine.
Sure, it's fine. Says the Gitzerai. Sure, it's fine.
All right. Let's see.
And that'll be my turn. I'm going to stick close to the big bunny.
Okay. Paolo can't quite get up to one, so he is going to stick with his longbow for the moment, but move a bit closer to switch it up next time. Longbow against one of those down there by Flounce with 18 for 4 piercing damage, which becomes 2
Ghost.
because ghost.
Let's Ghost.
His colleagues are all going to attack the one that's up here that has been around them, and I think they are all surrounding it with their they put the bows down and draw the long swords. Okay, so 1, 2. Okay, the first one is going to do 16, which becomes 8. The next one misses twice. And then the next one gets 1 hit, which is going to be 11, which becomes 5, so that's 13 total real damage. And then the next one gets 2 hits for another 13, which becomes 6, which... Okay, hang on. All right. So 5, 8, 13, 16, this 19. All right. So between the 4 of them, they hack it to pieces. And,
All right.
and that one is dissipated.
Okay.
All right. It did take all 4 though to
Yeah.
doing it.
Panthan gives him
Okay.
a salute with his crescent polearm.
Okay. That brings us to the veterans, their turn again. They are. What?
Isn't it Flounce?
Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Canthan said he did something, so I was looking at him on the tracker.
Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. No, I'm not telling you not to do things. That's just why I made the mistake. Flounce's turn.
Okay. Well, I am. Let's see. I'm going to bounce my way over to
Just
here.
imagine the bunny having. Boom, 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 boom.
Be afraid. Be very
Ground kind of
afraid.
shakes on each bounce.
Yeah. I want to use. I'm going to go ahead as a bonus action. I'm going to use my second wind
Okay.
for full recovery for 16.
Nice.
Nice.
And let's see, did that automatically add it? I gotta check. No, it didn't. So get a little bit of my my juice back.
Do you need some more?
No, I'm
Okay.
fine. I'm fine for the moment. I'm good. And I'm still within 10 feet of this one, so I'm gonna continue hacking and slashing at it with my glaive. So first attack is an 11. Second attack is a 10, so I don't think
Oh,
either one of those hits.
No, unfortunately not.
I'm gonna go ahead and do action surge.
All
Let me
right.
try it again. This time with feeling. 24.
That'll do it. Is that the top one there?
Yeah.
Okay.
For however much damage is on the thing.
12.
And that's a 23.
Mm-hmm.
And ignore that extra 2.
Right. So another 9. Is that the same one? The same?
Yeah, the same one.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Good.
And that's everything I can do.
Okay.
Oh, my steel defender.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring him up here and have him impose disadvantage on this wraith right here when it tries to attack me.
Okay.
Doesn't it already because it has a fear?
Well, it can move away from him. I'm away from Exel.
Right.
So-
It can still circle around the way the others did with the fear.
Yeah.
Right, but what I meant was it's going to have disadvantage on its attacks anyways because of the fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it can't get to this one. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
doesn't it have to be within 5 feet of the creature to do that?
I think actually I didn't use all my movement, and we're not within melee range. I'm going to back up.
Okay.
There you
I'm gonna
go.
back up.
Right. But what I'm saying is your steel defender, to impose disadvantage on an enemy, doesn't it have to be within 5 feet of it?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Well, so he's not right now, but that's...
Not right now,
It
but
do-
when
yeah.
they move.
Oh, I see. All right, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So that it does make it the Wraith's turn.
Hmm.
So these guys here. So when does their the mind whip or whatever it is wear off? On your turn?
It is it just one turn where it affects them.
Okay.
Like this
Sure.
coming turn.
All right. Well, I think as before, they're kind of circling around, but they discover when they have moved around to get by that veteran, they cannot attack because they've got that effect on them. but it wears off now. So take that dot off them. So they can only move action or bonus action but,
Correct.
Right. Okay. So that's what they did. Okay. Now it is. Oh wait, no, that was just those two guys. This one is gonna come up and also attack that veteran.
Oh boy.
Oh, dude.
Oh, dude.
Well, the other two didn't get. So it only gets a 10 to hit though, so that doesn't work.
Okay, good.
All right.
All right.
That guy is probably gonna also disengage next time. We'll see. But yeah, they're. Okay. That is the Wraith's turn. Xenophon.
Okay, so let's give some inspiration to Axel because I don't give enough inspiration to Axel. Axel, with your Eldritch blasts of magical breath, slam these wraiths into a second death. So you get inspiration.
Surely we have such a good relationship. You wouldn't keep secrets from me.
And now I'm going
We're
to.
like-
Yeah, we're like
like
buddies.
this.
Yeah, we're like this. But then after
I
as soon
was
as-
just The funny thing about like we're like this is also fingers crossed.
Exactly. Oh boy, this is going to come to a head at some point. Then Xenophon starts whispering at this wraith, and it's going to need to make a wisdom saving throw as I cast dissonant whispers on it.
Okay.
Oh, that's terrible.
17 it got.
So it's
just-
saved, so it gets only half damage. So that's a whopping 3.
Well, you know what? It's 3 less than it had before.
True, if it's using a first level spell versus wimpy effect is sad. But yeah. So that is the bard's turn.
Okay. Dianok.
Yeah. Let's see. Dianok is going to cast Shatter on these two,
Okay.
and in such a way that just affects those two.
So you can absolutely do that, but especially since it happened with the air elementals, in the same way that air elementals were resistant to shockwave type thunder damage, I think your character would think it's reasonable to expect that wraiths might have a similar resistance.
Okay.
So feel free to still do it, but yeah, I think you suspect they have a similar quality in that regard to air elementals.
Yeah.
Fireball.
You know what? We'll
Fireball.
just toss some acid at it.
Okay.
Acid at those two.
Sure.
So deck save.
So the two feared ones are
Yes.
okay. So okay. They are making dex saves. One got a 15 and one got a 9.
So both of them will take 12 acid damage, affected if any.
Well,
However they
they
would-
are both going to take half of that because once again, Wraith like because
Wraith.
Ghost.
Yeah, because ghost.
Because goes.
They're kind of only half there, so physical
Yeah.
type of attacks.
Well, hey.
But again, just like with the dissonant whispers, it's less than they had before. All right. Anything else for your turn?
I'm gonna Dianok will pull out the sling that they have and cast a magic weapon on it.
Okay. All right. Canthan, your turn.
Hey, I am hurrying back to the battle. On this side, 10, 20, 30. I can just barely get in range of
Mhm.
this guy here.
Yeah.
So. $26 for
Mm-hmm.
13 damage.
Nice.
10 and a 10 for the second hit.
10 will miss.
Okay. Yeah.
But that 13 damage is pretty good. All right.
And
Chop, chop.
yeah, let me I've got a bunch of different bonus actions these days. Hold on just a second. Nope, nothing I can use. That's it.
Okay. All right. I think actually, so now it is the sentry's turn, and I think that even this one there is willing to be brave because he knows his buddies have his back. So he is actually going to pull his longsword.
That guy who's surrounded by 3 wraiths?
Yes, because
Wow, he is brave.
well, he yes. Well, give it a second. The others are good.
Oh, the others are going to charge in too. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
because he knows his
Okay.
buddies have his back, like I just said, and
Okay,
so because
alright.
all right, now it's the whole moment. Okay,
Sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. But that's why you shouldn't judge too quickly.
Mhm.
Uh huh. It's not like these guys haven't been here doing this already.
That's true.
All right.
Yeah.
Besides, he can make 2 attacks when he uses his sword. And on the first one, he gets a crit. So there.
Nice.
So you.
Yeah. And then the second one misses, but he does what would have been 20 is only 10, but that's still not
So
bad.
done.
Yeah, and that one is looking pretty beat up right now. And then sure enough, the others are rushing in to support. 18 or 15, so that's going to be 10 damage to that one. Meaning it would have been 20, now it's 10. This one is coming in here. This guy's coming over here. Well, actually, let me do the first guy's attacks. 14 is going to hit, but only do 2 real damage. It's not destroyed yet. The last one gets another crit, which is going to finish off that one.
Nice.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
And
job.
then
These
misses.
guys are getting a lot of finishing blows.
Yeah, misses with the follow up there. Well, it was the dragon hunters that finished the other one, but yeah, and then he moves in. So now it's not quite so much like one guy surrounded.
Yeah.
All right, so that makes it your turn again, Axel.
And the one you said closest to me is the one looking a little fragile or not as
Well, no,
composed?
the one that was most fragile is gone now.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, we'll stick to it. Eldritch Blast for each of the remaining on this.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have to shoot you.
I think the one that's further away would have partial cover because it's behind a couple people from you.
Okay. So this will be for the one I can see
Mhm.
easily. So it's 18 to hit,
That will hit.
and I will push it away.
Mhm.
Of course. And then the second one. That's at disadvantage, right? Because
No, not disadvantage, but it has a higher AC.
oh, okay.
Because I'm ruling it has 3/4 cover behind 2 people like that.
15 points.
Unfortunately, that misses. With
Inspiration?
Its cover.
Oh yes, and you have inspiration. It's a D10, correct?
Yes.
Um,
Support your local bard.
Unfortunately,
Oh man.
and unfortunately, a 1 was not enough this time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Would have had to have
Yeah,
been.
I mean the problem. This is the classic. I can't get a shot because your allies are
Right.
in the way. So that's what happened there.
and just a wisdom save on that one.
Okay. Yeah. I did for the one, and it did fail, but now the other one is no longer feared. Okay. Paulo was gonna draw his sword, but all the ones that were close enough, they moved. So he does his longbow once again, but misses. The others are far enough away that they're trying to get where they can do their own. Like no, they had their swords out. I think they're gonna charge in and dash to basically just surround and use their strength in numbers. Here. You know what? I'm not measuring it carefully. I think these guys are coming around.
They'll be coming round the rakes when they come.
Yep. Flounce, you're up.
All right. Well, I'm going to bounce over.
Mhm.
And I'm going to attack this one
Gotcha.
with my glaive.
Seems like a good thing to do.
And that is a 25 to hit.
Mhm.
Wait, what?
What?
Okay, no, I'm sorry. Something rolled weird.
Okay.
All right, second attack
All right.
is an 11, so it won't hit.
Yeah, 11 misses, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right. Your defender?
Defender is gonna boogie on and be right there,
Gotcha.
and impose disadvantage.
Okay. All right. So, I think that the, oh, that's interesting. I was going to say, it is the Wraith's turn now, and this one is going to move here, and what it would be moving out of your melee attack if you didn't have reach. So you don't get an opportunity because it's actually still within your melee.
Okay.
But it's going to attack that veteran. It has disadvantage because that is the one that's afraid. Gets a natural one. But the other one that doesn't have disadvantage is
It does have disadvantage because my steel defender is right there.
okay, but it's not attacking you. It makes it have disadvantage on any attack.
On the attack of one creature it can see within 5 feet of it, provided the attack roll is against a creature other than the defender.
Okay. Also, your steel defender is a construct type, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
you know what?
It's attacks are not magical.
Okay. Well, I think it will because you're interfering with it, it is actually going to attack your steel defender.
Okay, that's fine.
It will be at disadvantage, I guess, but
Well, it won't be because it's only
The
against
one
other
thing
people.
the one thing
Right.
it can attack without disadvantage.
okay. So, it is a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
It's going to take 18 necrotic damage unless it's immune to that for some reason.
Nope.
Okay.
Immune to poison.
All right. And it has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, hold on a second. Constitution saving throw. Where is it? All right, here it is. And that is a 12.
All right. Okay. A 12 is not a success. And so that means that right now its hit point maximum is reduced by 18.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So, I think I am actually going to rule, unless anyone would really like to roleplay it all out. I think with the number of individuals we've got around these two remaining wraiths, that the next thing that's going to happen is that all of these people surrounding it are going to hack them to bits. So we can play it all out if you want, but I'm pretty sure that's the outcome, and we don't necessarily need to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enoch would pelt
that's
it with
fine
a
with me.
few bullets from their temporarily magical sling.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I do have a question though. So if one of these wraiths was of a warlord, would that be the Wraith of Khan?
Oh.
Can I give you anti-inspiration?
That's how Paul lost the inspiration.
Where's the tomato? Where's the tomato?
All right. So, As it becomes clear that you have dispatched all of the wraiths currently attacking, the sentries certainly look to the rest of you and just say, thanks for the assist there. Welcome to the final steps of courage.
Huh.
Thank you.
I'm guessing
Looks like we
that
arrived
is
at a
not
moment at a
Propitious moment.
Well, I mean, it was certainly convenient here, but I mean, be honest with you, like that happens all the time here.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah. It's frankly, between you and me, it sucks here. This is not a great detail. I mean, we're here trying to do an important job, but it's not a fun one.
oh,
Okay.
imagine not.
Mm-hmm. So I think you have, we're kind of just getting into this, but like, are you planning to like stay, or are you just moving on to the other sky bridge? No, you guys told me. Sorry, I was
Yeah.
distracted a little bit by
You're
wraiths
distracted by the
attacking us.
wraiths.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so here, if you would like to make use of the camp, it is as I mentioned, we call it the final steps of courage. Here, let me. And he gives you he holds out a little token for whoever takes it first.
Xenophon's right there. He's the talker. He'll take the token.
Okay. Well, so if you go down into the camp, Captain Atoy is in charge. You give them that, and you should be able to, rest, eat, resupply, whatever you need here at the camp before you head out to do whatever you need to do. But like I said, we're certainly grateful for any help anyone wants to provide in terms of trying to make this island safe again, but, don't expect it to be a vacation.
No.
No.
Well, I don't think a vacation would have a air that this thick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe me, I got to, I rotated out for a while, and even when I was back in Kalapung, I was, I was sneezing black slime every day for weeks.
Mm.
And now I'm back. Have a good time. So in any case, it is perhaps not a bad place to stop our session as you descend the last little bit of the bridge into the camp.
Captain Atoy, yeah.
Yes, and so perhaps we will leave it there and return for more adventure next week. I said it wrong. I will find out what happens next week with more adventure on so many levels.
So many levels.
Oh, man.
Yay!